go either we get started. Unfortunately, when somebody is so now, you know, fight it from, yeah, good evening. Welcome to the Beavercreek Rotary on this fine Friday afternoon. We take the meeting next week too. I think the one after that we won't because of the Thanksgiving holiday. I just want to make sure I said that for you to forget when I don't forget to say it. Then would you like to do it? Hey, you bet. Thank you. Thank you. So good afternoon. Would you join me in a short prayer? Oh, Heavenly Father, give us time for patience, time for understanding, a time to remember thoughtful deeds, time to believe in our fellow man, and to perceive the value of being a Rotarian. Amen. Thank you, Dick. I appreciate that. Yeah, you ready to do the secretary report?
Yeah, we are just under 65% today. Great turnout for this kind of weather. And we have one guest. Mr. Robin, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yeah, with me today is Jill Singh. Jill is the HR manager of Beavercreek. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you. And where's Carolyn? Oh, Carolyn's also a visitor from Rotary International. Welcome. Thank you. I went ask the Sergeant Arms report, but Sergeant Arms did not get it. What can I say? I did have a special now, so. JD, you got an answer? Me? Yes. Are you doing the Sergeant Arms? Well, no. Yeah. I want to first present JD. I got this in the mail over the weekend. It's Paul Harris Award. Nice. What? Number 5. That means every year $1,000. So he has donated his foundation for the good of everyone. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. All right. Is there any special announcements? Working for the major deal. Somebody was asking me about decorating at Watertree Park. Yeah. We can donate, or I'm stuck on donating. We can decorate between November 17th and December 1 at that building. To tear down January 2nd to the 16th. And December 12th is when they're actually having the event where everybody can visit between 5 and 8. Yeah, I think it is 5 and 8. We'll have to get some people from Manette. I think Dave and Beth did it last year, their daughter. We need somebody, probably 2-hour shift to man it up. And we'll have some games and some candy to give the kids and that kind of good stuff. We need to get a committee together once to do the decorations. And I still have some of the decorations from last year. And some of them belong to the other clubs, so I'm going to have to buy some. Not a lot. I just want to let y'all know about that. And dirty happy butts. Here's some happy.
So, a couple of things, Mike, Zwick, myself, and Abby was at Shaw this morning delivering the dictionaries. We had some pretty impressive dictionaries we gave out this year.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to bring one in and show you guys because they are pretty awesome. And we had a bunch of these left over. So the extra dictionaries, we always take to the library and we tell them to either give them to students that need them or use them as resource material. But I want to bring these in. If you have grandkids or somebody that's not done the apple dumpling adventure thing, it's got a recipe in the back for apple dumplings, fun activity for the grandkids. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. There's a stack of, take one, take a couple. Read through the book. If you haven't read through it, in the back, it's got kind of the history of Rotary. It talks about our literacy program. I'm glad we do this. I tell the kids every year when I put one of these in their hand, I'm giving you the most powerful book in the English language. And the kids really value it. You're amazed how many of them really appreciate the fact that you're giving them a book and it's theirs and they can put their name in it. The other tidbit, I thought this was amazing. Shout out to Paul. I was at the library giving them the extra books. They have a book vending machine in the library. Oh, no. You know how clever that is to have the bookmobile every day in the library? That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you three for doing that too. I know you do it to have the rubber, but it's still nice to get out there, take your time to find it and get out there and donate it. Pretty fun. Yeah, that's
Sorry, squirrel. Happened, so my daughter got inducted to NHS last. So.
Any other happy bugs? Oh, my.
Nobody's happy.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, let me throw this in there.
So what?
It's come full circle in our club because Abby was given a dictionary. She was in Shaw, and today she gave out dictionaries.
Oh, that's want to do the 50th drum? Yeah, I'll go get it.
Yeah,
On?
happy
I'm
about
happy. Oh, all right. So I'm Wayne. I'm happy because somebody now. I got it. Ain't that? Yeah. Thanks for the here. Oh, stop. Okay. Yeah, last three numbers are 808. Very good. You know, it's good. You're the lucky winner. Okay, I'm not sure. But some, I don't know. You're a good chance. Fire, talk about it. I don't trust it. Cards. What's the winning card? 88 club. Okay, 8 o'clock. Hot girl. Well. Yeah. What can I say? Well, feeling for a body might. Would you like to introduce? Oh, I call him. Well, would. All right. That's a fish out with that. Right. Thank you. Mr. President. I have the pleasure of introducing Melina Ball. She is the marketing coordinator at Transfer to Classroom. It's a nonprofit teacher resource center. She is originally from Philadelphia. She has led the organization's marketing and communications effort for 3 years. She helps to raise the teachers and students in under-resourced schools. She and her husband Logan met at Cedarville in 2020. They enjoyed serving in the youth group at their church and hosting game nights with Rex.
Thank you so much. Thanks. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone. I don't want to, I feel like I already talk loud, so I'm a little nervous talking into that, but hopefully it's not too loud. Just wave your hands if it is, or run out of the. Like I said, my name is Melina Ball. I'm marketing coordinator at Crayons to Classrooms. I really appreciate you guys inviting us to be here today and me to come and present and talk about our mission and our programs. I am curious before I start, a raise of hands of who has heard of Crayons to Classrooms before. Okay, that's pretty encouraging, actually. I'm excited about that. So very wonderful. I just want to say, honestly, the way that you guys started your meeting today, and the gentleman, I did not catch your name, but you were talking about the dictionaries and the books. It really bleeds into a lot of what we do in our mission, and I was really encouraged by that. Especially the part that you mentioned of how it's really so amazing when you hand a kid a dictionary or a book, and just how amazed and shocked they might be that you're giving them something that's theirs and they have ownership of it and they don't have to give it back. And it just feels like a gift, and it's something like a book that we might take for granted. And that's a lot of what we see all the time. And what we hear from teachers is the supplies that they get from our resource center. They're giving it to students that are just amazed that they don't have to return it. They're giving them a backpack that's actually theirs and they can put their own things in it. And when you have this level of ownership, by giving a student a school supply or a backpack that didn't have one before, and that's never had one of their own, it really does spark hope. It gives them a hope for the future that they might be able to have. It gives them a confidence that they have something that was trusted to them and that they can use in the classroom that's all theirs. So I was encouraged that you guys were talking about that, and I think that really just leads into a lot of what we do in our mission as well. And so for those of you who aren't aware of us, we are a teacher resource center that provides school supplies and other materials and essential resources to teachers of students that are at risk and under-resourced schools throughout the Miami Valley. So I don't think I have a slide that says this, but we are within 7 counties surrounding the Miami Valley. So we're in Montgomery County, Miami, Greene, Clark, Dark, Preble, and North Warren counties. And I'll kind of talk about the schools and the teachers that we serve in a second, but we serve a wide range of teachers and schools in the greater Dayton, Miami Valley area. And our goal is basically to relieve the burden financially that teachers feel to purchase supplies out of pocket for their classrooms and for their students, as well as then hoping that all students will be prepared to learn, because the students that are coming to the classroom without the supplies that they need, they will now have what they need to be able to participate in the classroom. Because if we can all remember, one of the first things that a teacher says when you get to school in the morning is, okay, take out your pencil, take out your notebook, take out your piece of paper. And what we see is that over 70% of local students out of the schools we serve are coming to school without anything. So the majority of kids are coming to school and they do not have a pencil to take out of their desk or their backpack, and they probably don't even have a backpack. And so immediately that is setting them apart from the students that are sitting next to them that might have what they need to succeed and to participate in the classroom. And immediately you're checking out, or you're noticing the difference between you and the next student, and you're not as interested to learn. And frankly, you can't even participate until someone gives you a pencil or gives you a piece of paper. So that's really the heart behind our mission. And our mission then is to just secure and distribute school supplies at no cost to teachers of students in need in the Miami Valley. And our vision is to hopefully that all students, they need to succeed in the classroom and beyond. Because we had a teacher that we interviewed in the summer, and she was saying that before she started shopping at Crayons to Classroom, she was spending upwards of $1,000 every year purchasing what she needed to fill her classroom, to make it look welcoming and warm and fun and a great learning environment, and as well as providing and then replenishing supplies for her students throughout the year. Now she shares that she only spends about $75 to $100 kind of on those maybe niche items that she would need, that we may not have, or that she may just find that she needs throughout the year. So it really is a need and something that teachers are filling. Students are coming to school without, and they're expecting that this school or the teacher will be able to provide it. And more oftentimes than not, especially in our local community, it's the teacher that's providing those supplies out of pocket. So who do we serve? We last school year we served 133 schools and 10 childcare centers. This year we had some school closures and some school mergers. So we're at a total of 144. So we had 5 schools, but it only looks like we jumped by 1. But we have 9 childcare centers this year. So this year it's 144 schools and childcare centers, and all of the schools that we serve, at least 60% of the students are participating in the national school lunch program. So that's how we determine our level of need. So some of those schools, especially DPS, are at 100%, but some of them are at that 60, and that's how we determine level of need to be able to allow them to be eligible in our program. based on inventory, we hope to, every year we try to increase inventory, increase funds received and donated, so that we're able to add schools to this list every year. So each spring, we look at reports and we add schools, and are able to grow our program each year since we've started in 2009. So that's been really exciting. So currently we have over 4,000 teachers that are eligible to come and shop with us. And again, invite from us, and then that's over 55,000 students that are benefiting from their teacher shopping at our program. So in our store, you can see a little picture if you've never seen it before. We have hopefully everything that a teacher could possibly want or need. We are always stocked with those core essential school supplies. So those supplies that are needing to be replenished because they're getting used up. Glue sticks, writing utensils, notebook, paper, all of those kinds of things that are being needed to be replenished, those consumable products. And then we also have different assortments of classroom decorations. We have STEM items, art supplies, books, backpacks, all of that kind of stuff. And so hopefully everything that a teacher might need when they come in our store. And when teachers come in, I'll talk about shopping. They, if they've never heard of us, first of all, or even if they have, each fall or end of summer, we'll send them out an email so they will know they're invited to come and shop, and they will shop online through our teacher portal. Once they schedule their shopping trip, they then will receive reminders from us, and once they come, they'll be able to shop. Each teacher is allowed to come and shop once per semester. And we have shopping throughout the school year, August through November, and then January through the end of April or beginning of May. And shopping is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays after school. So we have shopping from 3 to 6 p.m. And then we have one Saturday morning a month for some of those teachers that it's just too hard for them to get to us after school, or just a Saturday morning works better for them. And yeah, teachers can schedule their shopping trip online and come and shop with us. I think that I have a slide talking about this, but I'll mention it ahead of time. Unless it's the next one. See, oh no, it's not. Okay, we'll get to this one. So these are some things that teachers say when they've come and shopped with us. We have a yearly survey that goes out in the spring, so we received this just a few months ago. And as we can see, majority of teachers are saying that having access to free school supplies, not having to purchase them from their own paychecks and from their own expense, allows them to increase the variety and scope of projects. We've had so many, especially like STEM teachers, tell us that I could have been able to do a lot of the projects that I'm doing if it weren't for some of these items I was able to pick up from your store, especially items that maybe our staff is kind of looking at. And we're like, how are teachers going to use this? Because we get some random items. Teachers will always come back and have some creative way that they were able to utilize supplies. So many things, even if it's not a normal school supply, were able to be used in the classroom for learning. A majority of teachers also say that having access to free supplies allows them to be able to provide supplies for their students to participate in classroom activities who were not beforehand able to participate, and it also allows them to create a more equitable learning environment. And so this quote, the teacher just kind of said just that supplies allows her to increase her better communication with her parents, even in her class, materials for class projects. And a lot of teachers have said getting Lysol and hygiene items from our store has also, they really feel like it's allowed them to create a healthier classroom. So on average, every shopper is taking around $678 worth of supply for free. We do have limits on items just based on our inventory. So this is an average shop, but if a teacher were to take everything that we're offering them up to the limit, to the max limit that we're allowing for that shopping trip, they would take well over $2,000 worth of product back to their classroom for free. This is an average because sometimes teachers come in and take $200 worth of product, and sometimes they come and take $2,000. So the average is much less than what they are offered and able to take every shopping trip, but just every teacher might not take everything. And honestly, even the teachers that are really in need, they're just so humble and they're so kind and giving still. Like we're encouraging them to take stuff and they're like, oh, I don't know if I need that. Maybe another teacher does. And we're like, we'll have it for the other teacher, but you should take it too. So we try to encourage them to take as much as possible. And we love when they fill overflowing carts or grab a second cart. We love to see that. Okay, I'm not sure if I might need to head over here to see if this video can work. Let's do the Bait and Fish flag now. Okay. This is just a short video. Let's see Except some support.
It's like we were drinking a fossil, the actual cookie itself. We did abstract art and we then like painting and stuff. If you didn't have pencils at school, what would you like? It would be very boring. Makes sense.
All our students that are going to school, hundreds of thousands of them across the country that don't have the things that they need. And so that burden translates from their condition to the teachers who are focused on economically challenged students and the teachers that teach them.
It's the thing that they get a lot of anxiety about because they're not prepared, they're not ready, they don't think they need, and they just shut up.
If you go to any school today, you will find teachers going in their own pocket. That Crayons Classrooms is one of those staples, those tools that we can reach out to for support.
And it's just freeing to be able to say, okay, my barrier has been removed because of Crayons to Classrooms, so because my barrier is removed, now I can remove the students' barriers.
When they had a backpack, when they had crayons that have not been broken, that's how you can make this feel equal.
So you can accomplish whatever you want when you grow up.
Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Yes, what, a teacher.
And we did not tell her to say that. Okay. So it's just a little video that some of our teachers that are able to share what it means when they're able to shop at Crayons to Classrooms, and just students, the impact that it makes in so much more supplies at school. I also wanted to share, because I did not preface with this, but our Steve Rubenstein was our former executive director, and he was our founder, but he retired in the summer. So this was just filmed before he had retired, but Amy Kopp is now our executive director, just because I wanted to make sure that that was correct information. Okay. So
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Surprise to watch all videos on our YouTube channel for this.
We reshare.
Sorry about
Like
that.
a video.
Got it at the end, so I'll share it now, then we can look back to her at the end. But her name is Mrs. Words, and she is I believe she's a kindergarten teacher, and we talked to her maybe a little bit over a year ago. And she was able to share with us a story about when she gave a backpack to one of her young students who was in foster care, and since being in her class just for that 1 year was placed in a lot of different homes, being in foster care. And when she gave him the backpack, he felt that feeling that we were talking about earlier. She was like, he was just clearly like, this is for me, like I get to keep this. That backpack, which he made at his next placement, was moved to the next home. He told his teacher and he begged her to make sure that they didn't take her back. They made it to his next home, and that he was able to include that in things that he was able to give. And each time it happened multiple times that year, Mrs. Words made sure that the student was able to take his backpack, and that was the item that he was asking for, and that he was worried about getting. That really speaks to the impact and the importance that even a school supply can have, because especially as kids, like they were talking about, it's fun. Like about the crayons and having your own backpack. Like I remember being a kid and picking out different backpacks and the colors and the designs and notebooks too, and everything color coordinating. And it's been so the things that I was able to grow up with, and that excited me, kids and students in all different areas of economic levels, but a lot of them don't get to experience those things. And so it's really cool. Something about our program as well is that when we're providing the supplies as a teacher, is providing the student with the supplies that they need, and the teacher is caring for their classroom, just like we know they would, but we're just coming alongside them to help supplement their funds and all of those things.
Steve, you too.
Can be broken in.
You know,
He's got it. I got it.
There was all shortened for it. That's okay, well, we'll just keep rolling along.
yes.
So you saw some of the pictures of the things that were in our store, but everything in our store is donated, so we are not often, unless we are in very desperate need, able to use donated funds to purchase supplies. It is basically all donated. Last school year, we gave away $2.8 million worth of school supplies to teachers in the Miami Valley area, and so we're able to give $3 million supplies. Oh, and we're right on the spot I was hoping for. We're able to give away that many supplies because of donations. So those are corporate donations or donations from local organizations like ACO and Mead and 5 Star that are able to provide us with product in bulk. It's also in the community. Thank you so much. Individuals in the community that are providing supplies or providing us funds, everything in our store is donated. And so that's why we always have those essential school supplies, because that's essential to education, but we kind of vary in some of the extra stuff that we have that's still vital and important, but some have different undergarments or different feminine hygiene products, and other times we don't. We'd love to have them all the time, and we work on those things, but sometimes it just comes through depending on what grants we're having given to us at the moment, or what individual donations we receive as well. We're always having those essential school supplies, and we're always filling empty bins with new items, even if it's not the same thing that we had in the past.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Where are you located?
That's a great question. We are located on Woodman Drive. I don't know if you've been to the Goodwill outlet on Woodman Drive, like the bin store. We share a parking lot with them. So we are on side of the parking lot of that Goodwill outlet, kind of right off the highway. So we're at 1750 Woodman Drive. That's where our resource center is. So another way, so talking about donations, donated supplies, a big way that we receive a lot of our core essential school supplies are through supply drives. So this is a picture of an organization that donated for our Stuff the Bus supply drive campaign, which we do in the summer. And that's just a big campaign that's for July and August, where we are really asking the community to get involved and to host their own little supply drives to add up to a big, massive donation that we should receive at the end of the summer. So we encourage organizations like this one, or like corporate groups or churches or neighborhoods, to get involved and collect school supplies for us. This is just a sample of one of our lists that's our most needed products. Currently, our most needed items are regular markers, dry erase markers, color pencils, those writing utensils. Imagine how quickly kids go through them. And you can't just give a kindergartner one crayon or one pencil. So they need to be replenished. So those are definitely our most needed supplies, as well as other consumable products like notebooks and filler paper and glue sticks. And I mentioned that a big supply drive happens in the summer, but we encourage and accept donations all throughout the year, and people can host supply drives anytime for us. So that's something that can be done at any point. We also have lots of volunteer opportunities. We have opportunities in store as well as off-site. And the items that most volunteers make when they come, our biggest part of our volunteer program is our classroom solutions program. So that's making items like the picture here is these little journals. It's literally just 10 pieces of white printer paper and then a cover front and back. If an organization provides those for us and makes them, and provides the materials, we'll put your logo on the back of them to thank you and to recognize your donation and volunteering. But we have about 35 classroom solutions products, which are basically different crafts, different die that shade helper have more name tags for their students, or put things on a bulletin board, or we have these lost tooth baggies that has a cute little saying about a shark losing a tooth, I'm pretty sure is what we have right now. And it's something, my sister is a first year kindergarten teacher this year. She's already had like 3 kids lose their tooth, and she's used those little baggies to put the tooth in so that the tooth fairy can find it later and we don't have any lost teeth beforehand. So classroom solutions are our biggest program, and items like these journals can be made on-site or off-site. So we have lots of flexibility there. Some of our regular volunteers will help with shopping. So we have volunteers basically run our shopping program. There's always a staff member present, but we have volunteers run the check-in process, checkout, helping teachers shop, bringing their supplies to their cars and unloading for them. And then we do data at the end because we keep all of our inventory online. And so we have a volunteer that inputs data as well. So we have regular volunteers that come weekly that help with that. Overall, we have almost 100 regular volunteers that come either weekly or monthly, bi-weekly, something like that. And then overall last year, I believe we had over 900 or almost 900 maybe volunteers that came through our door or gave offsite in total. So that includes a corporate group that might have can't come just once or twice a year. It adds up. It adds up to us being able to do our program. Since our first shopping trip in 2009, we've distributed and surpassed now $41 million in distributions. We were super excited last year to hit 40, and then as soon as the school year started, we hit the 41 million. So we've been really excited about that, and are just hoping to get as many free school supplies into the hands of teachers and their students that are in need as we can. So I touched a little bit before about the impact of a donation, and this is the teacher, Mrs. Wertz, on the right side, and she's just wonderful, and we loved getting to chat with her and hear a little bit more about her story. And there's such a connection to providing students with supplies and their increased excitement and participation in the classroom. And our hope is just that by providing them one pencil, one notebook, that it really goes beyond. It's more than a school supply, and it really transcends that in the classroom and beyond. So this is my email if you have any further questions or are interested in getting involved in any other way. But I really appreciate you guys letting me come and share about our programs. And I don't know what else is going on with the meeting, but I'm happy to answer questions, but I'm also happy to sit down and hand off the microphone if needed. So yes.
I have a question. So you only take donated supplies and not monetary?
We do take monetary.
Why? How's that?
Yes. So honestly, I don't have detailed budget in my brain. However, yes. So there have been times, I know one time that I can think of since I've started, we have been dangerously low on crayons. We're not getting crayons. And we're crayons classrooms cannot have no crayons. So we went and we purchased bulk supplies. And actually when you donate financially and we are in need of purchasing supplies, we can turn $1 into $5 for the school supplies because of the partnerships and the bulk donations that we're purchasing. We're able to get a 1 to 5, we're able to really increase and stretch your dollar that you're donating to us. So yes, we always accept financial donations as well as supply donations.
Which schools do you find the heaviest demand?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, overall, Montgomery County is the largest county that we serve, and I believe that Dayton Public Schools is the largest district that we're serving. And they have the highest level as far as I know. But we also have lots of teachers, I think probably DPS are the teachers that are coming the most, but then we have a lot of teachers in Clark County, Springfield City schools that are coming. We have some rural schools as well. National Trail up in, I believe, Preble County. So we have a variety, but Montgomery County being the largest, I believe we have almost 100, maybe 90 or so of our schools are from Montgomery County. So that's definitely the greatest, probably.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How did you get started?
That's a great question. So Steve Rubenstein is our founder, and he's wonderful, and he just had celebrated his retirement, very well deserved. But basically, we are part of the national affiliate. We're a national affiliate of this network. It's called the Kids in Need Foundation. So there are over 30 or 35 other centers like us around the country. There's actually one in Cincinnati and one in Cleveland. So there's 3 in Ohio. We are our own nonprofits, but we're all part of this national network of centers. And so Steve has some experience in retail, and then he eventually found himself working for the Kids in Need Foundation. They're located in Kansas City, I believe. And so then they were talking about where to open new centers in 2007, 2008. They were like, where should we open one? And Dayton came up in discussion. And then it just worked out and kind of created a committee to assess the area and see if this is something that we wanted. So we launched our pilot program in January of 2009 with 8 schools. And Steve has always been the leader of that, and founded the organization. And then, yeah, started with 8 schools in 2009, and now we've got 144, so many years later. Yes.
Do the schools provide any kind of a basic supplies or budget to the teacher? Or is it all on the teacher and the parents for everything?
That's a great question. It really depends. I'm not super like up to date on knowledge. Like, I think some schools will provide some things, but it's not, no, basically no school that we're serving that's eligible they're not receiving supplies from the schools. They're not receiving very much at all. Sometimes they might have like a little bit of a stipend or something they can spend on supplies. But I mean, even if you buy so many boxes of tissues or hand sanitizer at the beginning of the year, you still need more in October from August. So there's a lot of things that need replenishing, and that's just not something that's available or offered, especially locally in schools' budgets. So that's also something that we're not ever trying to be like the schools are bad, they don't provide supplies, because sometimes they really don't have the opportunity to. And our hope is really just to kind of come along the schools and the teachers and support them. Just knowing that they have so much going on, education is ever changing. And so they have to roll with the punches with a lot of things. And we're hoping to be a constant of someone that can provide those supplies for them. But it's pretty rare that they get from the school. Yeah.
Why is it that there's such a universal belief that teachers need to bring supplies to school for their kids and pay for it out of their own pockets? When they are particularly essentially underpaid anyway? And the superintendent's here, no problem.
I think I mean, as a student, it's funny because I never thought anything of it. Like, I'd bring my school supply list to school. It's really, it starts with the families. So many families in our community are worried about putting food on the table and clothing their children. It's not that they're just deciding not to buy supplies for their kids. That might be the very small percent, if at all. Like, it's really just these people that have so many other worries and concerns. A lot of schools or a lot of students are also in really difficult family situations and are the sole provider for their families. If they're a high school student, there's a lot of people in different situations, and they likely don't want to be there, but they are. And so they're coming in, and frankly, even if it's not the parents' fault, it's how their family is. It's definitely not the student's fault. And so we're hoping that we want to come alongside the teachers. We don't want them to have to bear that financial burden. So just like a parent is not going to look at their kid and be like a parent is going to do anything that they possibly can for their child. A good parent, a good teacher, and most teachers they see them as their kids, their students. So they're going to do whatever they can to provide for them. And we just see that, and we see the burnout that teachers can face, and we're just hoping that we can be a part of that solution in providing them some financial relief as we can.
Do most teachers know about your organization?
I hope so. So our list, we have 144 schools on our eligible schools list. Those teachers receive, like those certified homeroom teachers receive emails from us. They hopefully know who we are. I will say, it is something we're working through, because we have 4,000 teachers that we invite to shop, and only about 2,400 come through the doors every year. We don't really, we're kind of working on it. We're not really sure, because everything, there's no catch, it is completely free. We do not charge a school, we do not charge a teacher, we do not charge anybody. So sometimes we're not really sure kind of where that comes from, but we're emailing them, and we're inviting them to come and shop, and they have a login with our programs. So they're able to come. And I just will say, on top of that, we have a program called the Volunteer to Shop program. So other schools locally, especially like in our county here, that might not be reaching that level of need, that 60%, we offer them a volunteer to shop shopping opportunity. So if a teacher comes with a friend, you have to get 5 volunteer hours. So if you come with a friend that's a non-teacher, probably, so that you don't have to compete for the hours, and you come together and you both work 2.5 hours, that counts as a shopping trip. And when I say work, it's really fun. It's creating like crafts and supplies and volunteer items. So if you are another school, like my sister is teaching at a school that is not an eligible school based on level of need, but everyone has levels of need. And so we offer this volunteer to shop program where she's able to come and volunteer to shop, and that's how she's able to receive supplies for her classroom. And like I said, I mean, come for 2.5 hours with a friend and then please like take $2,000 worth of product. We love that. So we really try to encourage that program as well. However, I think that's a slower moving program because those teachers are not receiving regular communication from us. So it's really just about the community and what I can post online and how media outlets can get involved to really make sure that all teachers in our counties are aware of the services that we can offer. Yes.
What's the budget for a given teacher? How much are they allowed to buy, in a shopping trip?
So if they take everything to the maximum limit that we're offering them, they'll take over $2,000 worth of product.
Is there a set max or is there a budget for each teacher or
There,
based on a school, the district, or?
that's a good question. There's not a budget for each teacher, but there is a max because we have a limit on each product. So we have a certain amount of books that they can take, maybe it's 10. They have a certain amount of backpacks that they can take. And that kind of fluctuates a little bit sometimes based on our inventory, because we'd love to have so many things to give to everyone, but we just don't always have something to give everyone, a classroom set of everything. And so, so we have a max limit so that if they take everything up to that max product limit, they can't exceed that. However, we're not like counting their things at the door. They are telling us on our shopping sheet how much they're taking, and it is the honor system. So we're not like mandating that you took 4 of those and you were only allowed 3, like go away. We're not doing anything like that. So it is on the honor code, but they do have a max, a limit basically. Yeah.
Have you ever thought of providing to the students in need, like giving them the opportunity to come shop just for themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've had different, this is before I started working here. So, but we've had like when there's been like different, like I think when the tornadoes came in like in 2019, maybe, we provided, like we filled backpacks and distributed them directly to students. I think during COVID, there was something as well, but I was not there for that. So I don't quite remember, but there have been a few different times where we've done distributions directly to students. I think our hope is that ultimately where it starts, our goal is, and like the end result is for the student to be able to participate, but we're a teacher resource center. So the hope is that, like we provide some supplies to students, the teachers will still be purchasing a lot of it out of pocket because probably maybe all the students won't come and shop or all, there's just lots of things that come into it. And as well as like families, like a kindergarten student is going to come on their own. And so we just found the easiest way to get those student supplies is to provide the supplies to their homeroom teachers. So we invite all certified classroom, like the main classroom or subject teachers, if you're in middle school or high school, like the math teachers, or whatever, that every student, hopefully in every school that is eligible has a teacher that is shopping with us. So if they need supplies, they can get it from that teacher. So that's why our hope is to get as many teachers in as possible, because then in turn, we're able to benefit more students. That's a great question though. Yeah.
If I can just share with the group, I'll give you a snapshot of Beavercreek since a lot of asked or referenced that. So in Beavercreek, our highest school free and reduced amount is 44%. That's one of our elementary schools. Our lowest is 9%, so we would not qualify under that. In Beavercreek, we do give budgets to all our staff. They all have a budget for school supplies, but you may also recognize if you have students in public education, you have fees that you pay every year. And those fees go what we call, they're called consumable items. And those are consumed by the student, meaning that in elementary, you might be buying markers, you might be buying pencils, crayons. At the high school level, you might be buying goggles for a science class. Those are all those fees that can be consumed by the child. They become the child's pieces. But with all that being said, obviously, when you have an elementary of 44% free and reduced, those fees for those parents are waived. So you never collect that. So even though we live in Beavercreek and we supply our classrooms with the products they need, we still do not meet all the needs of our kids. So in Beavercreek, we have a number of different locations that have closets that just have supplies, and by the end of our year, those supplies will be gone. And those are through donations from families too. So we struggle, even though we're an affluent community, we struggle with those needs because kids aren't able to come in with those pieces that they need. So just to give you a snapshot of Beavercreek.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, because I'm also not super familiar. I mean, I said I'm the marketing coordinator, I'm not even the over program. So someone else could probably explain all of this so much better. But that's a great example because we also even though there's like Beaver Creek and there's Centerville, a lot of my coworkers live in Centerville, and it's like we don't serve the most of Centerville city schools, but there's still needs in all of these schools. In the private schools where they collect tuition, there's sometimes still need depending on a lot of different things. And so we also do actually serve some parochial schools as well. But yeah, that's also why we have our volunteer to shop program, because I know we've had some teachers from Beaver Creek City Schools participate, and so they come and volunteer even though they don't hit our level of need. So we can't really offer every teacher at that school to come and shop just based on our inventory and how many schools we can add. We still want those teachers to have the opportunity to supplement some things by being able to come and shop with us. Yeah.
I would say thank you, as being married to a teacher now principal. We weren't wealthy when we started, and I remember those bills that we received to help the students out, because we do, you do consider them your own. And so to be able to offer this program is simply amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, of course, thank you. Thank you and your wife. That's wonderful. All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Get somebody, we get a picture. Cause I heard the book. Thank you. And Beth, as usual, has picked out a very good book. The Day the Crayons Made Friends. Pretty cute.
Oh, of course.
It was interesting to hear all of what you do.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
That's good education. I didn't know that was around, especially since it's so close up here on Woodman Drive. Just join us. Take a bucket around and see if anybody would like to donate. Let's do it. Yeah, all right, I appreciate that. I know. I know you weren't asking for donations. If we can do a little bit.
Shit, that thank you.
Thank you.
My work, sure you that service twice a year and Tom's and brag about you.
I want to thank the guys that came over yesterday, take all the flags down. I appreciate it. Keep doing on it. But it didn't take very long, though. Making his way there, yeah.
I know it's a little bit light, so I figured I missed one. Certainly.
So you all donate, I know we don't. Appreciate you donating and helping out those kids. They'll get your account here. Yeah, I've already told you about Gordon's Park, about decorating up there. We need to get a few people that's willing to do that. And is there anything else for the?
So if you haven't already signed up for the Christmas basket project, I think most people have, come see me. We're gonna be wrapping gifts on December 17th at 9 a.m. at the Township Building. And we will be delivering from Dots Market in Bellbrook at 8:30 a.m. on December 20th.
17. If anybody's willing to deliver packages, we could I'm sure we can still use some help. But it takes a lot of people, making these deliveries to get to everybody. Yeah,
Just to throw it out there, as a person who's had to return the dots, if we don't have enough help, many of us have to make many trips, so please, just show up.
this is true. Pretty true.
We will have enough volunteers. It's just the volunteers may have more to deliver, I'm sure.
We've all been told that that's just. Well, like, any new business? Would you like to pledge allegiance to the flag? All right. That's really. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, to the republic which is one nation, God, in His whole, liberty, justice for all. And we think we have a good. Stay out of court. Have a good day. Have a good week. I stay. No, I think. Hey. Yeah.
Have you gotten once, yeah, election, like a normal person here?
Congratulations.
So,
That's all I'm saying.
I didn't have to go, I guess. Anyway, congratulations. It's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Sure. Anything then? Yeah, I just got to fall. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Again, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
I missed the board meeting.
Okay.
I gotta swing by and pick up my kid from school first before I go to my meeting.
Next appointment.
Well, no, the school just called me and said that Junior threw up his lunch. I can't get home my hook because my wife's out in the sloth right now. But I know she can't go, so I'm not gonna get it.
First world problems.
Kids.
Kids and their boogers. I know.
No,
Good job. Good man.
you're a good egg.
Let me try this. That's hers.
I don't think so. I don't
it's
think it was.
Erickson.
Was it Erickson? Okay.
Yeah.